Hello guys, before I start my video I just want to update you on something I brought to your attention a few weeks ago, and it was my subscribers versus unsubscribed viewer amounts. And before it was 60% not subscribed and 40% subscribed. That was the history of my channel, and I'm very happy to say that in May 55% of my viewers were subscribed to my channel. I want to give a big thanks to anyone who did decide to hit that subscription button. If you are watching my videos on a regular basis, hitting that subscribe button makes a massive difference. Thank you so much for your ongoing support, guys. The subscribes, the likes on the live stream, it's all been crazy. But here we go with the video. Hello survivors, and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video. And in this video we're going to be taking a first look at the next promo character to be coming to RTS, and it's going to be Carrie Ann. Carrie Ann is not a character I'm familiar with. I'm pretty sure she's going to be a RTS exclusive character. Visually, she's kind of baiting the crossbow or bow setup, as she has got a quiver on her back with some arrows in it by the looks of things. But she's not going to be a tough character using a bow or a crossbow. She's actually going to be a strong character. She has got a backpack. She is in denim. She is not really geared for the zombie apocalypse, I'm not gonna lie, but she does look fairly unique. I do like the way the denim jacket looks. It's quite nicely detailed, and she actually has quite a unique look all round. When it comes to her stats, she has got 2,580 attack, 4,780 defense, and 4,704 HP. This is with full 30 veteran rings, and she obviously is heavily weighing on the defensive side with those stats. Her trait is strong, and her role is seen as a support character. As we move across to the rush, it is called Feisty Spirit. It is a 66 AP cost rush. Up to 3 enemies get stunned for 1 turn. All other teammates get 50% attack for 1 turn and get 50% bonus HP. So 3 things going on here, of course. The control is quite large. Obviously 3 characters getting stunned is quite a lot, but it isn't for very long. It is only for 1 turn. All other teammates getting 50% attack would be everyone except Carrie Ann herself, and they also get 50% bonus HP. That's probably the biggest part of her rush in terms of guarantees and how much of an influence that's going to have. As she is a defensive character, she's mainly going to be boosting other defensive characters on a defense team. Now, stun is probably one of the weaker of the controlling status effects, just because a lot of people do like to run stun resist. However, this rush is pretty quick. Being 66 AP means she could potentially be put on a melee team where she could rush turn 2 naturally, and getting off some early control can be devastating for an attack team, especially in combination with certain characters like the trader, or anyone who's going to take even a single turn will be problematic for your win potential. I do think this rush could have been a little bit more powerful though. The attack buff in itself probably could have lasted a couple more turns. But if she is going to be used on a defense team, I do actually like that she's giving out an attack buff, which is a kind of rare thing to see for defense teams. Now, as we move to her active skill, it is called Camouflage and Focus. Initial cooldown of 3, cooldown of 3, number of uses 10. Up to 2 teammates get Camouflage and Focus for 2 turns. Now, obviously there have been some major changes to the game in terms of how Camouflage works. Camouflage now makes multi-hit rushes not hit someone who actually has camouflage on them. So for instance, Davey, who has a full AoE rush, if Carrie Ann has used this active skill and people have got camouflage, those people who have got camouflage will no longer be hit by Davey's AoE rush unless they are the initial target, the central target of that rush itself. The same can be said for someone like Priya's rush. That first attack could take someone out. If the next attack goes to someone with camouflage, right now at least, Priya's rush actually just gets stopped in its tracks. It doesn't go to someone else who hasn't got camouflage, and in my opinion that's kind of bugged. But because it's early days for camouflage, it hasn't been properly test run yet. This is one of the first characters to come out which is going to be utilizing the camouflage in the S-Class era since its changes. It does also stop things like rampage bonus attacks, even with basic attacks, splash damage, collateral damage. Basically anything where the character is not the focal point of the initial attack it will block all incoming damage. But this does not include status effects, which can include things like burn and bleed, which would do damage. Those characters getting focus for 2 turns are can only really being seen as a bonus in terms of not being able to get taunted or confused. It's not really ideal for bypassing shields as it is only 2 characters, and this does seem like a bit more of a defensive active skill just because of that camouflage. Now we'll go across to Carrie Ann's leader skill, and this is where things do start to get interesting for this character. All melee teammates get 40% defense. At the beginning of each wave, all teammates get elusive for 1 turn. So this character is a semi-rainbow leader because that first half of that leader skill does give the melee teammates the 40% defense boost, but the second half will give all teammates, regardless of trait, all of them will get elusive for 1 turn. If you don't understand what elusive is, basically if you've got elusive and you get attacked, the person who attacks you gains no AP. If you've got elusive and you attack somebody, the person you attack gains no AP from your attack. It does only last 1 turn, so it's not going to be ultra effective, and there will be ways to bypass this. For instance, you can have AP gain weapons on an attack team. You can have Dr. Stevens then do his active rush to force certain characters to get their rushes turn 1. Or at least get AP gain go to particular characters. There is also a sneaky bypass on this as well. If you have a ransack weapon, you could potentially steal elusive off of one of these characters, and then that would be the window for your attack team on that first turn. I do like that there is some tactical approach to this leader skill compared to the RNG leaders that we have had like Jackie and Mercer, as this is very powerful, but there are ways around it that don't purely rely on first turn resists. However, if you were not to try and combat this leader skill, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. This effectively is going to do the same thing that Mercer lead would do if he stunned your entire team, where no one's going to be gaining AP. You would be able to do basic attack hits, but the defense team is going to gain their AP faster, and potentially with the right weapon setup could be blasting off rushes very early with commands. So if you do see Carrie Ann as the defense leader, you're going to have to go in with a particular setup to try and combat that leader skill. Now, Carrie Ann does not have an attached weapon. She can put whatever strong weapon you have pre-built into her hands, stun on attack, AP down, or if you're fortunate enough to actually have an absolute defense weapon for strong characters, you can just put that in her hands as well. You can switch it up as you please. I do primarily see her as a defense team character and primarily as a leader, because overall I think she is mainly a leader skill and the other things are just a little bit of, you know, a cherry on top situation. Her active skill, like I said, is going to be the first real time we see Camouflage in the S-Class era. The only strange thing about her when it comes to her active skill is you're primarily not going to attack her with rampage teams, and that is going to be one of the main things that Camouflage was brought into the game to counter. You could potentially use her on the same team as Mercer, however, because she is obviously a green character and can go behind Mercer without any problem. But as I've said in the past, Mercer is kind of just a rainbow lead anyway. His leader skill doesn't really do much for anyone, so it really wouldn't matter what trait she was at that point. Now, because she is a melee team leader, she can potentially have like Arav and commands on her team. If you can picture a couple of Rick commands and a couple of Aravs with AP gain weapons, that team could potentially be rushing faster than you can, just based on the fact you cannot gain AP. You're most likely going to have to start building a specific team just for this defense leader going forward. So like I said, I like Carrie Ann, and one of the things I like about her the most is there are characters already in the game that people already have from even the daily crates that are going to be extremely useful with her as the leader. And like I said before as well, while I think her leader skill is strong, I do like the fact that there is going to be some sort of tactical approach to beating it rather than RNG, which is never really that fun if I'm honest. But that is Carrie Ann. Do tell me what you think about her as a promo character. Is she the kind of character that you want to pull for? If I am wrong about her being an RTS exclusive character and she is actually from the comics, but I'm pretty sure she isn't, do let me know. But otherwise, let me know what you think about this character and if you're going to pull for her. That is the end of my video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.